On this week's show, we cover the varsity baseball games versus Greenwich, Hoosick Valley, Waterford Half Moon, Hudson Falls, Berlin, and Whitehall, and the softball games versus Greenwich, Waterford Half Moon, and Berlin. All that and more on This Week in SCC Sports. Welcome to This Week in SCC Sports. I'm your host, the voice of the Saints, Brandon Karam, SCC Class of 2020. This week we start with varsity baseball. On Monday, the boys took on Greenwich. The Saints offense got its spark in the 5th and 6th inning, led by Dylan Custer with 2 hits and 1 RBI. Terrell Tillman pitched a complete game shutout, only allowing 2 hits and striking out 12 batters in the 3-0 victory. Here's Terrell and Coach Lambert.
They're definitely a tough team. They have some good hitters. Their pitcher stayed in it too the whole game, which was good for them. And we just finally got a hit. We got some walks, and we did what we had to do.
He's a man among boys a lot of times. And, I never take for granted how good he is on the mound. When he's on the mound, it lifts everybody up, no doubt. But I really like the way our defense played tonight. We had a miscommunication on the second to last play, but other than that, our defense really was stellar tonight. And when you play good defense, and you got a guy like that throwing, it's a recipe for success, that's for sure.
On Tuesday, the boys took on Hoosick Valley. In an offensive slugfest, the Saints collected 19 hits, including 4 hits from Caden Lurch, 3 hits and 4 RBIs from Nick Winslow, and 1 home run and 3 RBIs from Terrell Tillman. In the end, the Saints picked up the loss, 17-14. Also on Tuesday, the softball team played Greenwich. In a rough game for the Lady Saints, they only collected 1 hit in the 8-0 loss. On Wednesday, the softball team traveled to Waterford Half Moon. It was a huge offensive effort for the Lady Saints, scoring 20 runs in the contest. Ani Crocker led with 3 hits and 2 RBIs, Julia Murdoch added 2 hits and 3 RBIs, and Emmy Murray added 2 hits and 2 RBIs in the 20-2 win. Also on Wednesday, the varsity baseball team played at Waterford Half Moon. The Saints fought back after being down by 3 runs early. In the 7th inning, the Saints saw themselves down by 1 run, until Jake Hart hit a home run to tie up the game and send it to extra innings. In the 8th inning, the Saints added 2 more runs to break the tie and to win 7-5. Dylan Custer pitched all 8 innings, striking out 5 batters. Here's Dylan, Jake, and Coach Lambert.
After the first inning, I had to sort of find myself and buckle down, and then from there on, I just tried to throw strikes and try to go one bat at a time.
It was just awesome the way our teammates came back and were able to contribute together or come together and get that W. Just on every single part of the field and hitting. Our lineup's 1 through 9. It always has been. Everyone's making awesome plays in the field, best efforts out there. It's just you couldn't ask for a better game.
Listen, I'm going to pigtail off yesterday. I thought yesterday we played a great game. 19 hits, no errors. Stellar defense, timely hitting. We didn't pitch all that bad. Kid had a day against us. We come in today, this is a trap game. We could have easily folded the tents here, knowing what we had. Dylan went out there. We had a talk about the 4th inning. And I said, look, bud, it's all about body language. It's all about trusting your stuff. He went out there. He performed like a champion. Jake Hart, he's starting to come around. What I'm most impressed with is his defense. The last 2 games, saving balls in the gap and the throw out, double play, and then, of course, the clutch home run off a lefty, a college lefty. That kid's going to pitch college baseball. He's going to Franklin Pierce, that Hula kid. That's a clutch hit by Jake Hart. I'm so proud of these guys to bounce back like that.
On Thursday, the boys took on Hudson Falls. The Saints put up 12 runs in the first 3 innings to secure the victory. The offense was led by Caden Awad with 2 hits and 3 RBIs, and Terrell Tillman with 3 hits and 2 RBIs. Ross Garrow made his pitching debut, pitching 3 innings and striking out 5 batters. Here's Ross.
I think it went really good. My teammates worked hard. I worked hard. We all did a really good job out in the field.
On Friday, the softball team traveled to Berlin. The Lady Saints scored in every inning, winning 15-0. Victoria Alvord led with 2 hits and 3 RBIs, and also pitched a complete game shutout, striking out 12 batters, and Julia Murdoch added 2 hits and 2 RBIs in the win. Also on Friday, the varsity baseball team took on Berlin. The boys scored a combined 11 runs in the 4th and 5th innings to win 14-1. Terrell Tillman led with 2 hits and 5 RBIs. Jordan Catone, called up from JV, got the start, throwing a complete game and striking out 7 batters in the win. On Saturday, the boys hosted Kelly's Angels Charity in a non-league game versus Whitehall. The efforts generated $3,600 for the charity. The Saints offense came up big in the 3rd inning, scoring 5 runs, and they went on to win 10-0. Dante Marin led with 2 hits and 4 RBIs, and Charles Tillman pitched another complete game shutout, striking out 8 batters. Coach Long was honored before the game to celebrate his birthday. Coming up, here's what's on tap for this week. We'll see you next week on YouTube, so stay tuned.